Are you looking for some new games to play this April? Well, look no further because I have found 14 upcoming games that I think are pretty interesting that I think you should check out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on that list. Darwin's Paradox is a very fun and pretty interesting looking action-adventure platformer. You play as Darwin, a cunning octopus who is suddenly pulled from the ocean and wakes up inside a giant high-tech factory. To find your way back to the sea, you'll need to master Darwin's unique cephalopod abilities. You'll use your suction-covered arms to scale walls, squeeze through tight vents, and even use an ink shooter to distract dangerous robotic predators. The game draws inspiration from classic espionage titles, letting you use camouflage to blend into the environment like a master of stealth. Whether you're navigating complex platforming levels or finding hidden Easter egg skins for Darwin, it's a beautifully animated journey about a creature trying to survive in a metallic jungle. Darwin's Paradox will be launching on April 2nd on Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. People of Note is a rhythm RPG where the power of music is the only way to save a world that is literally falling out of tune. You follow Cadence, a young pop star who realizes her solo act isn't enough to win the noteworthy song contest, or to stop the cosmic dangers threatening her home. You'll travel across the musical kingdom of Note to assemble a motley crew of musicians, including the classic rocker Fret and the introverted DJ Cynthia. Each battle plays out like a stage performance where your button presses must match the beat to trigger attacks and combos. The coolest feature is the genre blending system, where you mix different band members, and that actually changes the soundtrack and your combat abilities in real time. People of Note arrives on April 7th on Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. Spark in the Dark is a hardcore dark fantasy dungeon crawler that focuses on atmosphere, survival, and ancient mysteries. You'll dive into a grim, endless labyrinth as one of 5 hero classes. There is a trial and death experience where every corridor hides lethal traps and monsters that require tactical, weighted combat to defeat. As you explore the first 3 tiers of the dungeon in this early access release, you'll use a Mind Palace style system to connect clues found in old books and artifacts. Every discovery helps you piece together the story of the ancient civilization that built this place, making every hard-earned victory feel like a step closer to the truth. Spark in the Dark enters early access on April 7th on Steam. Pokémon Champions is a competitive experience designed for trainers who live for the strategy of the battle. Skipping the traditional long journey, this title puts you right into a global arena where you can battle other players in both ranked and casual matches. You can bring your favorite partners from previous games to Pokemon home, or temporarily catch new Pokemon daily to expand your roster. The game brings back fan-favorite mechanics like Mega Evolutions, featuring new forms like Mega Feraligatr with its Dragonize ability. With cross-platform play between the Nintendo Switch and mobile devices, you'll always find a rival ready to test your best team strategies. Pokémon Champions releases April 8th for the Nintendo Switch. Samson is an action game set in the gritty streets of Tyndallston. You play as Samson, a former street fighter whose past catches up with him, forcing him back into a world of gangs and corruption to protect his family. The gameplay is a mix of brutal hand-to-hand combat and high-stakes vehicle action. You'll navigate original car designs through a realistic urban layout, crashing and rolling through ambushes as you complete dangerous missions. It's a fast, dirty, and grounded story about survival in a city that never lets go. Samson drops April 8th on Steam, with console versions planned for later. Before I Go is a Metroidvania-inspired game that shows the transitionary nature of life. During the game, you'll navigate the monochromatic dreamlike world of Limbo. It's a Metroidvania at heart, where finding new abilities is the only way to reach new areas and unlock the secrets of a world left empty by a strange illness. The game uses a trial and death philosophy, with physics-based puzzles and hidden hazards that demand precision and timing. Despite the eerie atmosphere and hostile creatures, the journey is ultimately about finding peace and deliverance in a world that feels like it's frozen in time. Before I Go releases April 13th on Steam. Replaced is a cinematic 2.5D action thriller set in an alternate 1980s America scarred by a nuclear catastrophe. You step into the role of Reach, an artificial intelligence trapped inside a human body against its will. As you navigate the neon-soaked but decaying Phoenix City, you'll engage in fast-paced, free-flow action combat that looks and feels like a high-budget movie. The story dives deep into themes of identity and humanity as you expose the sinister secrets of the Phoenix Corporation. With its handcrafted pixel art and moody synth soundtrack, it's a tense cyberpunk journey where every life has a price. Replaced launches on April 14th on Xbox and Steam. Cthulhu, the Cosmic Abyss is a first-person investigation horror story that brings Lovecraftian terror to the year 2053. You play as Noah, an agent for an occult division sent to a deep-sea mining site in the Pacific. Alongside your AI companion, Key, you'll explore non-Euclidean environments and the ruins of R'lyeh to find a missing crew. The gameplay swaps traditional combat for deep investigation and a sanity system that changes how you perceive the world as the cosmic horror takes its toll. You'll use Key to scan evidence and connect clues in your digital compendium, all while trying to keep your mind intact as the walls start to breathe. Cthulhu, the Cosmic Abyss arrives April 16th on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. MOUSE P.I. for Hire is a noir-style first-person shooter that blends 1930s rubber hose animation with the fast-paced boomer shooter action. You are Jack Pepper, a war veteran turned private eye navigating the corrupt streets of Mouseburg. The combat is all about speed and showmanship. You'll be double jumping and dashing through arenas while using over-the-top weapons like the James gun or the Devarnisher, which melts the ink right off your enemies. Between the explosive shootouts and the boss fights, you'll use your tail to pick locks and gather clues to solve a complex missing persons case. It's a perfect mix of slapstick cartoon humor and a dark adult detective story. MOUSE P.I. for Hire arrives April 16th on Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. Pragmata is a sci-fi action-adventure that takes you to a silent lunar research station to uncover a mystery left behind by humanity. You play as Hugh Williams, a responder who wakes up injured out on the moon after a massive moonquake. You are joined by a mysterious android girl, a Pragmata, created from a high-tech material called lunafilament that can replicate almost anything. Together, you'll explore the eerie, isolated ruins of the base and use the unique properties of lunafilament to solve puzzles and survive. Pragmata lands on Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam on April 17th. Tides of Tomorrow is a narrative-focused survival adventure set on Tethys, a planet almost entirely swallowed by the sea. As a Tide Walker, you are on a mission to find a cure for plastemia. The game features a unique story link system where you can see the ghosts of other players' actions in your world. If another player recently cleared an enemy base, the guards in your game might be on high alert. Every choice you make, from being a troublemaker in dialogue to leaving resources for others, leaves a trace for future travelers. It's a first-person adventure about how our individual ripples can change the tide for everyone else, so you can either be super helpful or a huge troll. Tides of Tomorrow launches April 22nd on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam.
Kazuma Kaneko's Tsukuyomi
is a tactical deck-building roguelike set within a mysterious skyscraper in Tokyo called the Hishira. As an agent of the elite
Tsukuyomi
organization, you'll climb the tower to eliminate monstrous beings known as Jinma. The combat is a turn-based card system where you must adapt your strategy based on the random cards you draw each turn. Every run through the tower is unique, with branching paths and events that can drastically change your outcome. With the legendary artist
Kazuma Kaneko's
unmistakable visual style, it's a striking blend of mythology and modern mystery where one wrong move means losing everything you've gained on your ascent.
Kazuma Kaneko's Tsukuyomi
Descends onto Nintendo Switch on April 23rd. Lunchbreak Tactics is a strategic auto battler. It turns the chaotic backroom of a supermarket into a high-stakes card game. You play as a retail worker at any mart who has to build the ultimate squad using everyday store items. You'll draft cards and build synergies between different workplace clans to defeat your coworkers in quick, hilarious matches during your 30-minute break. Because there's no time limit, you can take your turn whenever you have a spare moment. It's a lighthearted, humorous take on the genre that perfectly captures the slacker spirit. Lunchbreak Tactics rolls out on April 28th on Steam. Saros is a dark sci-fi action RPG from the creators of Returnal, set on the haunting world of Carcosa. You are Arjun Devraj, a Soltari enforcer searching for answers on a lost colony during a massive solar eclipse. The game features fast-paced third-person combat and a permanent progression system where every death reshapes the world and offers new upgrades. With a deep narrative and large-scale boss fights that change with every run, it's an atmospheric journey through a world where reality itself is being warped by the eclipse. It's a stylish, high-stakes epic that takes you on the edge of your seat until the very end. Saros releases on April 30th exclusively to PlayStation. And those are 14 games coming out this April that I think are pretty interesting and that I think you should check out. And if you liked what you saw or you want to see similar content from me, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the video, all that good stuff. And if you're interested in more cozier games to play this April, check out my video recommendation below to find cozier games. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!